Ravens, Texans, and there are two teams going in completely different directions. There's one team that's storming their way into the playoffs, and there's one team that is stumbling like a drunk uncle at a very, 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 very productive Christmas party to the playoffs. You know which is which. Like, you know which is which. And the Ravens look dominant and have been dominant for the past couple of weeks. And the Texans, man, Jesus Christ, dog. It sure pays to be in the AFC South, huh? Like, why can't the Miami Dolphins be in the AFC South, man? You guys are more South than the fucking Texans. You're more Southern than them.
You know what, Herbie? It's funny you bring that up, right? Like, because there was a time in my life where I used to wonder, like, back in the heat of the Tom Brady era. I'm talking 07. They almost went perfect and shit like that. By the way, shout out to Cap for Life, man. Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry Christmas, Cap for Life. Merry Christmas, everybody in the chat right now. We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. But go on, Rob.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, so I used to always think to myself, like, back in the heat of the Tom Brady dynasty, when they went around 07, 08, bro. I used to think to myself, like, damn, bro, why the fuck we had to be in the East, man? Why the fuck we had to be in the East? But I had to remember too that there was once upon a time there wasn't an AFC South, right? There used to be like the AFC East, AFC West, and AFC Central, right? Because people forget the Indianapolis Colts used to be in the East, right? Like they once upon a time, the Indianapolis Colts were a team that we played twice a year. We have a divisional history with them. So it's kind of crazy to think about that. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady could have been in the same division for years if they had not switched that up. But that's neither here nor there. But man, listen, CJ Stroud and the Texans better thank the Lord, Herbie. They better thank the Lord that they are not in any other division, bro, because they would be hardly sniffing the playoffs, right? You know what I mean? And look, this is not to down on them, Herbie, because look, the Texans, they have
down on them. I'm sorry, down on them again. Tank Dell injury aside, and all prayers go to Tank Dell. He's aside from that, he is absolved from the shit we about to talk about them. All right, but down on them because at the end of the day, right? Like, football is a hard sport. That's why we love it. It ain't easy. You have to work for it. Nothing is a given on Sundays, Mondays, and apparently Wednesdays now, and Thursdays, and fucking Tuesdays. Shit, probably every fucking day.
Herbert, they might as well should have put a game on Friday at this point. They should have just took a game. Like, bro, you should have just started it on Wednesday and gave us a full fucking weekend of football, Herbie. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. My nigga.
Bruh,
like,
okay,
Jesus.
so do you know what it took to get this game on a Wednesday? Do you know what it took? So I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to, I want to say, I think it was Ryan Russillo podcast, right? And I think they had Albert Breer on. No, they had Peter Schwarger on from NFL Network. They had to have a deal with the Denver Broncos, specifically Sean Payton, to do them a solid because the Broncos already played a Thursday night game. Legally, you can only play a Thursday night game on one. You can only play, every team only gets one Thursday night game. They wanted the Chiefs and Ravens on Christmas so bad that they had to beg the Broncos to play an additional game because they needed to move the Chiefs and the Ravens to Saturday, bruh. Because you can't play a game 5 days between each other, bro. Like, this is so greedy. This is so greedy on the part of the fucking NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Know what? That's. But you know what? You know what worries me about that shit? The Chiefs and the Ravens just played, right? And then now they're playing again on Wednesday. And it just makes me wonder, like, damn, like, if guys get hurt today, and I'm not wishing that, there's a good chance, Herbie, because they're overworking these guys. And I know there are people who say, oh, these football players get paid millions of dollars, yada, yada, yada. I get that. But, Herbie, there's a reason why this game is played once a week. There's a reason why traditionally this game was played once a week.
Okay, put it like this. Tell Tank Dell, who we just mentioned, that you get paid too much. And it's been confirmed, he tore his ACL, his LCL, his MCL, and did structural damage to his meniscus all on one play.
Oh,
in a game they really should not have played. They shouldn't have been playing on a Saturday. You should not be playing football 3 football games in 11 days. That's nonsense. Like,
It's
and again,
bro.
we are all a part of it because shit, we doing a fucking podcast about the games,
About
we're
the
previewing
games,
this shit.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not absolving myself from it. You're not absolving yourself from it. I'm finna get fly. I'm finna go get a bottle. I'm finna be watching the shit the fuck out of it, bro. I'm here for the carnage. You know what I'm saying? But we just have to point out the ridiculousness that it is becoming because it's like, how far can you take this, bro? Like, say you're somebody who does not have internet or you don't have Netflix. Now you have to pay for internet. Now you have to buy a Netflix subscription just because you want to watch 2 football games?
Dude.
Like, say you're somewhere out in the world or you're in Montana or Idaho somewhere, like, you don't got the best internet, bro. You need broadcast television, bro, because it's the easiest way to watch something. Now you're screwed. Like, and the NFL is going to say, yeah, we feel you, but really saying, fuck you, bro. Like, get your money up, bro. That's really what they're saying.
That's all it's ever about, Herbie. That's all it's ever about. Our man in the comments just said something like that too, man. Our man in the comments just brought that up, man. Cap.
Man. Listen, man. Yes, and to quote what you're saying, it's true. Greed is not good. We are witnessing gambling taking over. Cap, dog, I apologize to you, but I've been gambling for a long time, bro. I was gambling when you had to go to the back door street and talk to an Indian guy at the cash register, bro. So I apologize to you. I am not a beacon of light. I apologize to you. I am fully complicit in this, dog. Sorry, Cap. But again, like Cap said, he's speaking to it, man. Facts. Now I got to play Netflix just to watch WWE. Yes, this is the new reality. The streaming services are the people with the money. The people that have a product are going to go to the people that have the money. So that's just what it is. Yup, bruh, you are 100%.
You know what time? Hey, Cal, you know what time it is.
Cal, you know what it is. Cal, you a dirty dog.
Hard Rock Bet, bro. He was here before Hard Rock Bet.
You was here before Hard Rock Bet too, Cap. We know.
Bovada. I hear Bovada.
Bro, we've been doing this disgusting gambling shit so long that when I was on Bovada, I had to get a check that I cashed out from another country and have it sent under a bogus name to me by freaking UPS. This is bad, man. This is bad, man.
Listen, man, I remember when you used to have to convert Bitcoin, man. You used to have to convert Bitcoin just to bet. You couldn't even get that shit cash because when you try to get it cash, they always lose your check. For some reason, when you try to get your check cash from these pirated sites, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That shit,
man, it's rough, man. It's rough, bro. But back to the game though. So we could pontificate and we'll say whatever, but at the end of the day, bro, we're here to watch football. We're gonna watch football. It is what it is. This is new reality. This is new future, man. So what are your predictions for the game and how do you feel about the game itself, sir?
Well, I mean, Herb, look, Lamar Jackson, like, it's funny you mentioned it in our pod earlier in the week. Lamar Jackson, right now, if you talk about the MVP picture, like, it's funny. Last season, you could argue that no one really deserved MVP. This season, Herbie, there are a number of guys who could win the MVP, and I'm cool. Josh Allen wins the MVP, Herbie. He's probably the person I want to win the least because he's a Bills. He's Bills. But if he wins it, I ain't mad at him, right? Lamar, Herbie. Do people understand that Lamar as a passer is having the type of season that Peyton Manning had? Is having the type of season that an Aaron Rodgers had. This man has 120 passer rating. This man has 37 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and you could argue maybe just one of those picks is his fault. Added with the 3 rushing touchdowns, and people might say, oh, well, he doesn't have the rushing touchdown that he has. Well, shit, he has Derrick Henry in the backfield, who, by the way, hasn't scored in over a month. I would bet anytime touchdown today on Derrick Henry. He's got to score, Herbie. He's been a month since he scored. That's neither here nor there. When I look at, and I just want to make this point, Herbie, too, because this is to address a certain group of people out there, Herbie. At this point, Listen, I know some people don't want to hear about Lamar winning MVP because he won it last year. And last year, people said it's not about the stats. So when you bring up Lamar winning MVP this year, people say, well, I thought it wasn't about the stats. Fuck the stats, Herbie. I don't want to hear none of you motherfuckers calling Lamar Jackson a running back. I don't want to hear people say Lamar Jackson is a running back playing quarterback. I don't want to hear that anymore because at this point, when you say that type of shit, you are exposing yourself. If you want to tell me Jalen Hurts is a running back, cool. If you want to tell me that hell Josh Allen is a running back, cool. Because if you're gonna call Josh a running back, cool, go ahead and call Lamar a running back. But that's not the reason why y'all be calling Lamar a running back. I don't want to hear that shit no more, Herbie. Lamar Jackson has been proven. This is not the first time he's thrown for over 30 touchdowns. He's probably gonna throw for over 40 touchdowns. Okay, he has been having one of the most prolific seasons we have ever seen in NFL history, with two other legitimate MVP candidates in Saquon and in Josh Allen, Herbie. So I just wanted to get that out there because I get sick of seeing people online talking about Lamar's just a running back. No, I don't want to hear y'all say that shit anymore. If you want to tell me Jalen Hurts is a running back, cool, fuck it. He is a running back. His receivers wanted to jump him in the locker room. I get it. You know what I'm saying? but you're not gonna tell me Lamar is a running back throwing the ball, Herbie. I'm sorry. You're not gonna tell me that. All right. Man. With that being said, right? I just wanted to get that out the way to talk about the game. Herbie, I'll be honest with you. This is not even the Texans' offensive line. Like, listen, the Dolphins have a bad offensive line, but we have a quarterback that can mitigate
manage it. Yeah, manage it. Mitigate it, make it better than it looks. And it as rough as it looks for the Dolphins, and again, this is one of the things, this is the reason why we do this podcast. You feel me, to give Dolphin fans the voice. You guys have this Tua has a reputation that he is behind a bad offensive line, which is true, but he makes it look significantly better than it is. It could be so much worse if Tua wasn't doing what he was doing. We saw what it was with Skylar Thompson. Boy. So, so to your point with C.J. Stroud, and that was the thing about C.J. Stroud coming out of Georgia, was that is he able to make secondary moves? He's did it a whole lot his rookie season. He's not been able to do it this season. For whatever reason, who knows? But the reality is the reality. The results are the results. And boy, goddamn. Goddamn. To shout out to Irvin. Lamar's an elite pocket passer now. I would assume, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, you're probably saying that he just got to this point. Whether he just got to this point or not is irrelevant. The point is, he is that dude right now.
He's here.
And he's here. Yeah. So we are only judging it based off of this season. And let me get this one point in, and then we'll get back to the game. I'm sorry to cut you off, Rod.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
It's just really ironic that Lamar Jackson is Josh Allen most likely still may get the MVP if they went out, right? And he's going to get the MVP that everybody thinks Lamar Jackson should have, when Lamar Jackson got the MVP that Josh Allen should have had last year. So it kind of evens itself out, but nobody actually wants to mention that point. Like,
that's true.
Nobody actually wants to.
Josh had like 50 touchdowns last year.
Josh had a better year than Lamar Jackson. People want to guess because he had 18 interceptions last year, but he had a better year. He was more of an MVP than Lamar Jackson was last year, right? But because the defense carried the Ravens last year, but nobody wants to talk about that. So we'll just leave that, we'll put that one in the bud. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, back to this game though, bro. Like, listen, this is football. Anything can happen. The Texans have an incredible defensive line. The Texans that you've seen it firsthand. The Texans have really good cornerbacks. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans won, but it would be the Ravens have to just wet the bed, and we know the Ravens can do that. Like, that's the one thing about the Ravens.
That's the thing about them, yeah.
They could wet the fucking bed, dog. And it comes down to that. Are they gonna be ready? If the Ravens lose this game, it's because the Ravens didn't show up today, bro. Like, they was more focused on the fucking Beyonce concert than winning the fucking football game, bro. That's what it comes down to, bro. That's what it comes down to. Did you have any last words? I completely just took over, bro. I apologize, bro. You had any last words?
Before I get to my last words, I do want to get to Irving's comment. Irving, Yeah, listen. When you watch the film, because I watched the, we have time to have watched the film, bro, of the Dolphins game, because he made a comment about Isaiah Wynn. You want to know the reason why Devon Achane was able to run for 50 yards and score a touchdown, Herbie? It's because he actually had proper blocking from a real fucking guard, Herbie. Isaiah Wynn was the one who made the key block that allowed Devon Achane to get the space to run. It was Herbie. It was such a pleasure to be able to put on the film and not see your offensive lineman get pushed back 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He was either getting pushed or he was standing tall. That's what you want out of your offensive lineman, Herbie. And it sucks that Isaiah Wynn is one of many, many hurt Dolphins players that we have. For some reason, all Chris Greer does is draft and sign guys that get hurt. Now, back to the game that we were talking to, just the only real point I'm going to make. Obviously, Herbie, like you said, it's any given Sunday or any given Wednesday or any given day now. I mean, football's played damn near every day at this point. But at the end of the day, when I look at the Texans, Herbie, they have struggled mightily, especially the interior of their line. The Texans have one of the worst interior offensive lines in the league. And the Ravens defense, which in the first half of the season, they were struggling, Herbie, they've come along, Herbie. The front seven's playing better. The secondary is especially playing better. They moved Kyle Hamilton back into a free safety role, and you could see the difference that's made. So the Ravens, even though they had their struggles early in the season, they figured out things more on both sides of the ball. Derrick Henry getting his 20-plus carries. So, man, for the Texans to win this one, I'd actually be very impressed with them, because the only impressive win they have is an early season win against the Bills after they came off a spanking off of Baltimore, right? So this would be a good win for the Texans in terms of building their confidence. Obviously, not having Stephon Diggs, not having Tank Dell, so they're going to be relying a lot more on Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz, right? But CJ Stroud has proven that he can play at a high level. This season obviously hasn't matched his rookie year, but a lot of that is the offensive line, and the interior of that offensive line is just, Herbie, they do not allow you to do a lot. The Texans, I think, are in the lower third of the league in running the football. So they asked CJ Stroud to really do a lot. But at the end of the day, man, if I were to give this game a score, because I expect Lamar to be incredible, because, that's just what he's been all year. I would say that the Ravens will probably take this one, Herbie, 24-20, man. Like, I think the Texans can keep it close because they have a defense that can do that. I'm sure their defense will give Lamar certain looks, and they'll be able to confuse him here and there. But Lamar has been so efficient, Herbie, and even when he doesn't see anything downfield, he's electric with his legs. But this should be a fun game to watch, man. 2 playoff teams going at it at the end of the year, and the Ravens actually need this game. Oh, yeah, this should be a good one.
And one playoff team and a team that just backdoor into the playoff, bro. We got to be honest, man. We got one playoff team in the